Hi guys, and welcome to a new video on Sonal's life. I know what you're thinking. Sonal, this is like the third video in a week. I know, I am spoiling you. But although it's been like a week and a few days since my amazing World Quest experience, which you can look at that here. Straight away, we got back to Japan for the Declaration of Power show. So I think this is sort of meant to replace the King of Pro Wrestling show that they normally have in October, which for me is like the big, like the key point in the calendar, which is like, this is the start of the road to Wrestle Kingdom. So after an amazing show, which oddly enough was on a Monday, it's a very random time to have a very big New Japan show. I am going to look at the entire card, what happened, the big shockers, and basically the fact we are now on the road to Wrestle Kingdom means that we can get excited to figure out, and actually we've actually had some confirmed, what we are going to see at the Tokyo Dome on January 4th, 2023. So as always, we started the show with tag matches. The first one was very significant as it was Ren Narita's homecoming. So it was the Suzuki-gun trio of Doki, Despi and Kanemaru versus Robbie Eagles, Finlay and Narita. An amazing way to start. Narita came out. I think I still find it odd because he's in his black shorts. I know it's very Shibata themed. He's like a strong style wrestler. So these shorts aren't Young Lion ones. But for me, when I see the black shorts, I still link it to the Young Lion system compared to the likes of Tsuji, who is a very nice ring gear now, and Shota with his white and pink. Yeah, it was a very, despite Finlay being there, who obviously was there for the power and stuff, it was an amazing showcase of the juniors, as I really hope that Narita is staying with the juniors. We had some great interactions between Robbie Eagles and Despi, who we know their rivalry goes way back. I got to see Doki again. Love Doki. And Kanemaru. It's a really nice exchange. Obviously, we've got Super Junior Tag League coming up. It'll be interesting to see. From news that's come out, and I'll talk about that later on, it feels like it's probably going to be... Robbie Eagles will definitely be Super Junior League. Maybe Doki and Kanemaru. So, yeah, that's good. Ren Narita got the win over Doki. That was the only really result that could happen. Narita had to get the win on his first match back as a not Young Lion, and Doki's really the only guy that could take the fall. We then had Ryusuke Taguchi, Hikuleo and Hiroshi Tanahashi versus the House of Torture trio of Yujiro, Sho and Evil. Again, it was a House of Torture match full of shenanigans. The funny thing, this is the first, I think, proper tag match that Hikuleo has had with guys apart from Tanahashi, because obviously they fought together at Royal Quest, with Hikuleo in Hontai after obviously turning on Bullet Club and joining Tama and Tangaloa as being good guys after getting kicked out of Bullet Club. There's a lot of shenanigans. This is obviously, remember, House of Torture still have these never six-man titles. I know it's odd to remember. Really nice to see the three Hontai members work together. They're completely different styles. You had asses flying. You had like, you had Tanahashi being Tanahashi basically with like sling blades and things, and then Hikuleo with his height, which I thought he was 6'8" when I met him, or like 6'6". Apparently he's 6'9". Even like the House of Torture can't get over this, and like at the start Yujiro was trying to re-recruit him. Like, it's not gonna work. In the end, shockingly, despite House of Torture shenanigans, Taguchi got the win over Sho, even with some cheating. So hopefully that is going to lead to another six-man title match, because that would be a very interesting team, Taguchi, Tanahashi and Hikuleo. It's one that I'm quite looking forward to. We then had, on the third match... Oh, I missed the second match, I'm sorry. I was scrolling and I was like, I went the fourth match. Second match I missed was Taichi and Zack Sabre Jr. versus Bad Guy Tito and Shane Haste. Again, I don't really know, it's an odd thing to have two heavyweight teams wrestling this early on with no implications for titles. But like I was saying with the Super Junior Tag League, it might be something to do with World Tag League coming up. Bring back dangerous techers. Also, I think the Mighty Don't Kneel have really made their mark in Japan, so I hope in some form or another they are in World Tag League. Let's fast forward back to match 4. Which was another heavyweight tag team match between Bishamon, so that is Chaos's Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi, versus the Empire's Great-O-Khan and Jeff Cobb. Am I right? I was right. Again, really nice. What was quite cool was at the start, Yoshihashi had his bow staff and Great-O-Khan had his big Empire flag, and they were just staring at each other. And it was a really nice dynamic. There was some really nice stuff with you know I love Goto so much, so dynamic. Same with Cobb. Oddly enough, the main interactions here was between Yoshihashi and Okan. At one point, I think Okan forgot he's not in the UK anymore, and he got Yoshihashi's bow staff and started putting it in his... I'm not even going to do that thing. In his ass. It was really weird. But again, I think it's building up to World Tag League. Both teams are former champions, work really well together. Also, I like a good tag match. Like, we have multi-mans. Give me like a proper team on team one, like similarly with the second match. It's just a nice way to split up the show. We then had the fifth match, which was a big 8-man match. So we had a few title implications here. So it was LIJ, Naito, Sanada, Bushi and Hiromu versus the Empire's Ospreay, TJP, Francesco Akira and Aaron Hanari. Obviously the big one was, we've got Ospreay versus Naito in November, at the start of November for the US title. And then also we've got some junior implications. So bear in mind, Akira and TJP are the junior tag title holders. And we have Hiromu and Bushi. Again, a really nice match. I'm really looking forward to Ospreay versus Naito. Those two just know how to get on each other's nerves. They were like messing around in the ring, doing each other's like hand signals. It was really cool. However, the big thing at the end, so Ryogoku, for those who don't know, is a big place for LIJ. They've had a lot of Pareja reveals there. And so at the end of the match, it was Akira and Bushi in the ring, and then the ref got knocked down. I think it was Maya Yasami. God damn it, Maya Yasami. Then a masked man came out and helped Bushi get the win, which is a big plus because Bushi never gets the win. And then it was revealed to be Titan, so CML's Titan, and he basically did this long-winded promo in Spanish and then asked to join LIJ, and there was a fist bump. But it was a weird reveal. The commentary seemed confused, the crowd seemed confused, obviously because they don't speak Spanish. And rather than like a big reveal, it almost feel like Titan came out, asked LIJ to join, and then LIJ were like, yeah, why not? We need another junior. And again, I'll say why that makes more sense in a bit. But we basically now have a new member of LIJ, permanent, and he's the first Gaijin member, the first foreign member, which is very interesting. We then got up to the special singles matches and the title matches. So we had, obviously Kushida is still ill, so he couldn't go against Ishimori. Master Wato took over, and this was a shocker. Master Wato started very fast. He has all that like excitement and gumption that we expect from a young lion. Phenomenal, like, I love Wato. He's improved so much, especially after teaming with Taguchi. However, Ishimori massively underestimated Wato. So like I said, the start was a flurry from Wato at the midsection like point. So yeah, about 7 minutes. Wato sort of lost that as Ishimori got on top. So Ishimori has been cocky, hits a few moves. Oddly enough, Wato came back and got the win, which again will link to something I'm going to talk to in a bit, to do with Wrestle Kingdom, because obviously this win over Wato is huge. It's over the IWGP Junior Championship. That's got to have title implications. We then had the Who's Your Daddy match for the King of Pro Wrestling title. Don't like laugh at the title because it was a phenomenal match between Shingo and ELP. Yes, the gimmick and the whole King of Pro Wrestling seems a bit stupid, but it has given us some amazing matches, and this is no different. Shingo and ELP are a bit more similar than you think. They both started as juniors, making the transition to heavyweight through the G1. And like, although their styles are very different, so ELP is still much more speed-based compared to Shingo's strength, they work really well together. And you know what? ELP wasn't messing about. There was no funny business. Since the G1, we've not seen no back scratching, no games on the rope. He's been like a proper wrestler. And actually, for the most of it, ELP seemed to be in control, like properly dominating Shingo. It wasn't until like towards the end that Shingo got it back. Their feud is not over though, because, oh, I just saw this piece of hair, it's not annoying me. Even though Shingo got the win at the end, he did that, like, you're my daddy. It was a bit weird, but like, I'll take it. They went for a hug. Again, it relates with a gimmick. ELP not only hit Shingo in the balls, poor Dragon Balls, but he broke the King of Pro Wrestling trophy. And as Chris Charlton likes it, not only did he stop any chance of Shingo maybe having babies, but he broke Yano's baby. Again, I know like there was a new belt introduced and I forgot to talk about that. There's going to be tournaments for it. I hope they don't get rid of the King of Pro Wrestling because I think it's a really solid trophy and has given some wrestlers a really good like place to shine. So yeah, that was a really nice match. One of my favourites actually. We then had the special singles match between Jonah and Okada. So like, oddly enough, it didn't have any implications for the contract. Like, not that was written, but obviously I think we assumed that if Jonah had won, he would have main evented Wrestle Kingdom, obviously won the contract of Okada, like normally happens. Again, a phenomenal match. Jonah in the G1, like, that block, the A block, the monster block, didn't really impress me. But Jonah has continuously impressed me, like him personally. And this match was no different. So what was quite funny is we know that Okada normally goes for the, like, size advantage. He couldn't do that with Jonah. So he went for the speed. There was a lot of offense. Because they fought each other in the past, they know more about each other. There was a lot of reversals. Both guys pulling out stuff you wouldn't expect. So Okada was flying out of the ring. I know, you don't see that often. Jonah was obviously doing his, like, flips and stuff. He's a big guy. Of course, Okada won. It would be very risky at this point with New Japan to have a gaijin, especially a fairly unknown one, no matter how popular main event Wrestle Kingdom. And then we had the main event, and I like sort of rushed the rest of it because this was an amazing match. It had so much history, so much like hatred, and it was Tama Tonga versus Jay White for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Going into this, there's so much blood. Like, basically, Jay kicked Tama out of the faction that he was a part of for so many years. He basically brought Jay in to start with anyway. But yeah, going into it, so much blood. We even had the build-up at Royal Quest. The match itself was phenomenal. At the start, Jay was like messing about, like ha ha ha. Because it's, again, Jay never thinks that anyone is good enough to main event with him. He's done it with Finlay, he's done it with many guys. Maybe except for Okada, he can't say anything. But with Tama, it's his first big real opportunity for the world champion, especially the babyface. The match itself was so good. These two are very strong defensive wrestlers, which meant that it's normally weird to have two guys with a similar style, but it worked. Like I said, Jay was being cocky, but Tama came out with a flurry of offense. There were so many times where I thought Tama was going to win it. He had the crowd behind him. He had Jado behind him. I was even behind him. As a Switchblade girl, that's a hard thing to say, even though I love Tama Tonga. The offense was so varied, so you had strength, there was a lot of speed, because you know Tama is one of the most athletic people in the world. Jay, even at the end, continued his cockiness. At one point, I thought he was going to lose that title, because instead of just hitting the Blade Runner, he decided that he wanted to beat Tama at his own game with a gun stun, and he got reversed. Like, I was literally shouting at the thing. I was like, are you being serious? Just bloody pin the guy. There was also a moment where Jay hit Tama with a low blow. Look, Tama returned it, so Jay brought a chair in and Tama almost took it. We almost saw a return to the bad guy, but he didn't. And you know what? Jay said it perfectly at the end. Any other day, Tama would have been world champion, but it was against Jay, who might just be the best wrestler in the world. And so he has, I think, technically cemented his place at the main event of Wrestle Kingdom. I think he might have a match at the 59th Street or something, but yeah. And then obviously Okada came out and said like blah blah blah, we're gonna do Wrestle Kingdom. An amazing show and such huge title implications for Wrestle Kingdom, because I'm gonna tell you why. So we already have matches set for Wrestle Kingdom. We have Jay White versus Okada, touch wood, that was gonna be a phenomenal main event. We also have the IWGP Junior Heavyweight set, and it is a Fatal 4-Way. Now, before anyone says I don't like Fatal 4-Ways, the first Wrestle Kingdom I watched in 2018, the junior match was actually a Fatal 4-Way. Hiromu, Ospreay, Kushida, and Bushi. Whereas this time, we have Hiromu, Despy, Ishimori, and Wato. The past, so Ishimori, the present, Despy and Hiromu, and the future, Wato. Not saying, obviously, Taiji Ishimori is the past in terms of, like, he's out of date, but he's a veteran. So, yeah, I think that was one of the matches that, like, cemented my love for New Japan, that 4-Way at Wrestle Kingdom. And I always think that if anyone can do these multi-man matches, it is junior heavyweights. We then, like I said, have World Tag League and Super Junior Tag League coming up, which will have implications for Wrestle Kingdom. So teams that I'll expect, like Dangerous Tekkers, Bishamon, the Empire. We now have Titan and Bushi, I assume, for LIJ, TJP Akira. I feel like Taguchi might return with like Rocky or Robbie Eagles now that Wato has something to do at Wrestle Kingdom. But there is going to be a lot of stuff. We have the Never title match between Carl Anderson and Hikuleo, which is weird because literally like the day before I'm recording this, Anderson and Gallows decided to show up on Raw. You're telling me that a New Japan champion is now in WWE? That is the world of pro wrestling in 2022. But yeah, I didn't want to give too much away from the show, and I also don't want to talk too much about it because it is an amazing show, falling off the back of Royal Quest, and I definitely think you should watch it. So yeah, that is my video. I've tried not to talk because sometimes I feel like these reviews go on forever and ever. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought of this show. What were your standout matches? What are your thoughts going into like the road to Wrestle Kingdom? Whether it is the title matches coming up, what's already been set for the main event. Talk to me about what you think about bloody the Good Brothers being in WWE while one of them is holding a New Japan title. Let me know. As always, it's in the comments. You can talk to me on social media at wrestling_chat. I am always on there. And if you like the video, remember to like it and share. Spread the world of pro wrestling and hit that subscribe button and tell your friends to hit subscribe. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. It is going to be, we're on the road to Wrestle Kingdom now. It's going to be huge. So yeah, I will see you guys soon. Bye.